Hi everybody, and welcome to the very first podcast and YouTube video featuring from WYLD, from Project WYLD. So this is my health and fitness podcast, and I am not committing to doing anything to a certain timeline at this stage, but we'll see where it goes. You never know. Might be one a week, might be one a fortnight, might be one a month. Don't know yet. But the very first podcast for Project WYLD is called The Whole Point, because this is just overarching with everything that I do. And the message I really want to get across to everybody is, what is the whole point of this? What is the whole point of this health and fitness journey that everyone is realistically on? Because whether you are struggling with chronic disease because of choices that you've made, that is still a health journey. Everyone is on a health journey. If you are living, you are on a health journey. And this applies to everyone. This doesn't apply just to athletes. This doesn't apply just to people dealing with chronic disease. This doesn't apply to people just on a fat loss journey or just on, a muscle gain journey. This is literally for everyone. This is for anyone who has a body and is alive. Okay, so listen up. The whole point of this health journey and the whole umbrella of thinking about your health and your body and your wellness is to get healthier. So no matter what you do, we should just be continuing to make better choices based off what we know and what we can broaden our knowledge to find out about or be curious about. Now, the reason I say broaden is because sometimes you may be doing your absolute best with what you know, but because you're closed-minded to new things that you may not be aware about, you may be reducing your ability to get healthier in a way. For instance, I the other day read the back of a canned tomatoes can label to see what the ingredients were, assuming it was going to be just canned tomatoes. Now, it did have citric acid in it, which a lot of people are coming to know now that is not good for your health, and I'll let you do your own research there. But for such a long time, 2 years, I bought that canned tomato without even turning it around to look at it, just because the front said canned tomatoes. I think it was even organic, had the whole healthy look about it. So, just because for 2 years I blindsidedly did not turn that around and look, even though I was looking at every other packet, because somehow in my mind I had a mental block up saying that canned items were just the honest truth on the front. So try and question absolutely everything, not all at once because it'd be too overwhelming, but day by day, when it pops into your head, what are my clothes made out of? Start to question that. Start to question the biggest organ on your body breathing that in. And think about everything. And don't try and change it all at once, because you'll just implode. But, you've got one place to live on this earth, and that is inside your body. You've just got your body, and if it is not doing well, then you are not living in a safe place. So you need to make that as safe and as healthy and enjoyable as you can, just by making little choices along the way. Okay, now this applies for all aspects of health, so mental, physical, emotional, social, all of the different umbrellas of health. You need to think about that in, and that's just making small choices every single day to slowly get healthier and healthier. You might see somebody who is, absolutely shredded, 100% on their diet. They don't drink coffee, they don't drink alcohol. They're like just the god or goddess of health in your mind. But they may actually be in a very emotionally unstable relationship, or they may not have the best kind of mates around them that don't make them feel so good, so there's other aspects as well. So you can't just apply this to the packets in the supermarket. You can't just apply this to exercising every day. This is something that goes across all aspects of your life. So the whole point of this is just to continue to get healthier every single day, little tiny steps, and that's all you can do. Stop chasing the perfect body and start chasing sustainable health. All right. This is so important, because I think when people aim for perfection, you throw in the towel too soon, or it all seems too hard. And because it is, to be perfect, who even wants to be fucking perfect? Let's be honest. But to be perfect is like almost impossible. Like you think about all those random things that come up on Instagram saying, if you eat one kiwi fruit for 6 weeks, and if you eat watermelon seeds for 4 months, and if you have, spirulina for 2 months, and all of this. Well, if you had all of those things in all of those doses, you'd probably be going over your calories. So it's kind of ironic, but you literally can't be perfect. You can't do, you cannot be the vision of health. There is no vision of health. You'd probably be mentally unstable anyway, because you're spending so much time thinking about what you're putting into your body and the exercise you're doing, that you're not even getting any time to kind of declutter your head. So just stop chasing the perfect body and start making better choices to benefit your health. So thinking about down the track, thinking about avoiding chronic disease, thinking about, avoiding any acute injuries because you're getting weak joints, etc. That will then, you'll get a stronger, sexier, more defined body anyway, because you are making those choices. Now, if you focus 100% on a number, say a number on a scales, or a number at lift, or anything like that, then you're forgetting about the journey. And if you don't enjoy the journey, you are not enjoying your time on this earth, which is the only time that we have today. Okay, tomorrow actually never comes, because tomorrow. Every day, tomorrow never comes. Today is here today. You've got to enjoy that. So you've got to enjoy that journey, and you'll see it all over social media, printed all over t-shirts and jumpers and everything. Enjoy the process, enjoy the journey. And it's so true. If we can get that into our heads and literally practice that, like literally practice enjoying it, just the little things. So, when you make yourself a smoothie, to make sure you're getting certain nutrients in there, or just getting your protein in after your workout or whatever, like don't do it as a form of punishment. Don't do it as I can't eat my chocolate cake, or I can't have my KFC, or I can't have this. It's like, I get to make this fucking delicious smoothie, and oh my God, sit down and bloody enjoy it and see the good in it. Don't see it as a form of punishment, as in you're dieting. You're literally just putting something amazing into your body. You're doing all these little choices. They are not punishments. You are not missing out on anything except for diabetes and heart disease and, all of these chronic problems that people get from making bad choices time after time after time again. One day you don't just wake up and have diabetes. Like, that has been type 2 diabetes. That has been coming for a long, long time of a lot of bad choices, a lot of small steps to get to that really bad place. Have you been enjoying the journey? Yeah, maybe you've been enjoying your KFC. Maybe you haven't been feeling too good about it. But I tell you what, if you reverse that and you take all of those little small steps to get to, you just make tiny little choices that are good, your life will end up better than what it is. If you make choices that are better than what you were making yesterday, your life will get better. It doesn't matter how small those steps are. It doesn't matter if you're not at your end goal yet, if you have one, whatever that is, don't worry about that. If you are making small steps in a better direction, you will become healthier. Whether that is socially, physically, emotionally, any of that, you need to focus on all of them. Maybe not all at once, it can be a bit overwhelming, but whatever steps you are taking, enjoy that process and don't make it a form of punishment. The thing I hate is when people are like, oh, I have to do that exercise, like I have to do that workout. And then, it becomes this toxic kind of cycle of binge eating and, restricting and binging and then doing a workout and not enjoying it. But if you can change your inner talk, the words going on in your mind to make it positive and excited about that, like, damn, I know it's going to be hard, but I can't wait for that post-workout high, or I can't wait for my adaptations to come and feel my body working, and that I'm able to kind of get stronger and all. Think about it that way, that you can actually move, and how lucky am I that I've got this body that can grow and change and adapt and do all of these things for me. Wherever you are at, forget about what other people are doing. Just be grateful for what you can do today and the choices that you're making, and you are going to enjoy that bloody journey so much more if you can just change your mindset. And guess what? You'll probably get to your end destination, whatever that is, whatever your goals are, you'll probably get there sooner. But here's the thing, when you get there, what next? So say you've got a certain number you want to get to, whether that's with a lift, with some scales, with some muscle gain, whatever it is. You've got a number you want to get to. Maybe you've got a podium you want to stand on. You get there. Cool. That's going to feel really, really fucking good for a couple of days, maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks. Then what? What do you want after that? Do you just stop? Does everything just go back to normal? Or do you want more? Because if you're always wanting more, you're always getting healthier, you're always growing, you're always, increasing your capacity, your ability. You're increasing yourself. And if you are always slowly getting healthier, isn't that what the point's about? To be the best version of yourself you can be? What are you going to focus on next? You're going to maintain what you're doing and then go and focus on your emotional health? That's awesome. That's so cool. All right, just slowly ticking away at little things. All right, enjoy that process. Make it like your biggest hobby is just to improve yourself as a human being, every aspect of your health. And I can guarantee you it's the most rewarding thing that you can put time and energy into. It is also not selfish. You cannot pour from an empty cup. So if you've got a family, and most of you will, you are not going to show up for them as the best version of yourself, which will benefit them, if you are not filling your own cup and not doing these things to make your body and your mind a healthy place to be in. So if you are getting that guilt of spending an hour going on your run or going on a walk or, going to any of your sessions or anything like that, you need to strip that back and work on that positive self-talk of, this is going to make me a better human. And if you've got to tell yourself that it's going to benefit them, tell yourself that, okay? That's fine, because that will improve over time as well. It's actually something you have to practice. If you practice feeling guilty about something, you'll get better at feeling guilty. So every day you leave the house on your way to the gym and you're rushing back to try and get back because you feel bad for being away, you need to debunk that and unpractice it. Forget about it. I know it's hard, but you need to take your time. Of course, if someone needs to leave for work, that's different. You've got to get back, but don't feel guilty about it. Get back and be grateful. Get back, and instead of saying sorry, say thank you. You're literally just changing your self-talk with it, and the discussion around it, because guess what? Those little people, they're fucking listening. They are listening to you and the words that come out of your mouth and the way that you behave, and they are going to become that if they don't see something different. Now, it's not about perfection. It's not about intensity. It's about consistency. So if you can stay consistent with all your little habits every day, consistently plodding along, may not be perfect, it may not be the best, okay, but you're staying consistent with becoming a better version of yourself, that trumps perfection all the time. So I don't know if you've ever done it. I know I have. Aimed for perfection 100% of the time. So aim for perfection 100% of the time. So done, say, 2 or 3 weeks where you are at the gym every day except for Sunday, for example. You are stretching, you are getting your nutrition in, you're trying to keep up with the kids, you're doing it all, you haven't failed once. And then, you're just going to snap. There's something, totally exhausted or just totally stressed or, and then And then what happens, this is going to sound so familiar to a lot of you, is that you throw in the towel because you stuff up one night because you binge or something like that. And then that ball just rolls over. So you say you don't go to the gym one morning because you are actually fucking exhausted. You do not go to the gym, and then you repeat that again the next day, and then the next day, and then you're just sick of going because you have almost done it to the point of punishment where you're like, no, I have to. Well, instead of that monologue, change it to I want to. And then on the day that you don't feel like going, think about what you really want to do with that hour of time. So say, for example, you go to the gym without the kids in the morning before somebody goes to work. If you don't feel like going to the gym, what do you feel like doing? Do you feel like doing maybe a morning walk on your own, or just getting a coffee and going to sit and watch the sunrise? Because that time is going to be a lot better spent and create a lot more mental clarity than just turning your alarm off, going back to sleep for another half an hour, and then waking up and doom scrolling on your phone. So you need to make better choices no matter what they are. Don't throw in the towel, but you need to give yourself rest and aim for 95% every day. So you may choose to have a beer at the end of the day. You may choose to have a wine at the end of the day. You might have 2 or 3 coffees one day every few days because it's like that's the only thing getting you through. You might decide to have like a treat in the afternoon or something like that. You know, there's all little things that can be your little 5%. Now, some people say 80-20. I think 20% of things that can damage your body and your mind is a far too high number to work with. I think the less the better, but you need to allow that 5%. And maybe at the start, it starts at 20%. And then, you know, as you learn more about your health, and your body gets more used to it and your mind gets more used to it, you kind of dose it down to 15% and then 10% and then 5%. And look, some days, some weekends, like we've just gotten back from a trip from Fraser and I had way too many beers, and now I'm definitely having a 2-week break because my goodness, that was a lot for me. You know, so there's still times like that are not going to like be that 95% rule every single day. But that's just life. And I think the point of it is if you're not striving for perfection, then you're gonna get to where you want to be and be feeling good with what you're doing a lot quicker, because you're not going to have that all or nothing mentality. What I mean by that is you're either all in or you're not. Okay. So if you are not, which a lot of people aren't right now, and they know that they want to be, but they're not willing to settle for anything other than the exact image of what they want, well, you need to strip that back and be happier with consistency. So you wake up one day, say your cycle's coming or something, and you're feeling really crappy, and you really don't want to do a workout. Well, don't do a tough one. Just do a nice cruisy one so you keep that routine going and that you're keeping the consistency going. So you're still getting up, you're still doing your 7 a.m. workout, or you're still doing your workout when the baby goes to sleep or whatever it is. But instead of picking up the heavy dumbbell, maybe you pick up the light one, or maybe you just do half the reps or something like that, just so you're maintaining that. And guess what? You're going to feel so much better at the end. We all know that. So you just got to do the best with what you've got. So your circumstances are going to change all the time, especially if you're a parent. So make sure that you are just making the best decision on that day that you can. Forget about the perfect picture. Forget about where you want to be. Forget about that end destination. And just remember that you are just making choices right now with what you've got. And if you can keep making all those decisions, like when you go to the servo, making a decision, do I pick up the Mars bar? Do I grab a Coke? If you make the decision not to, that's amazing. Like, just because you got one yesterday doesn't mean that you can't make that decision today. There's nothing wrong with that. That is, you don't have to have been perfect for the last however long to make a good choice today. So, if you can change your self-talk, you will literally change your reality. Every time you have a choice to make, allow yourself that. Don't just cave into that kind of I like to kind of think of it like you're hiding something behind your own back. You know, it's like you're sneaking something without yourself even seeing. And it's like, okay, well, let's quit the joke here. You know, you go and grab your 5th biscuit and it's kind of like, I didn't see that. That's literally like wiring in your brain working at its highest. Is it's tricking the vessel that it's living in. So if you can change that self-talk, you're going to change your reality. So speak up when something like that's happening. When you are really not wanting to do something that you know is going to be a lot better for you, going to make a lot better choice for you, you've got to speak up. You've got to have that voice in your head that speaks up, that positive self-talk. And don't, like I said, it all interlinks. Don't use it as a punishment. Empower yourself with it. Walk out and be like, fuck yeah, I'm so mentally strong. Look at what I just did. I just said no to something that is literally wired in my brain to make me pick up that can of Coke and go and buy it. Down from the advertising, down to the sound when you open it, down to the taste, down to, you know, like literally the sugar response and everything in your body. It's all wired for you to pick that up and do it on repeat again and again and again every single day. And you just chose not to do it and walk out. Like, feel fucking great. Go home and make some delicious smoothie. It's something that's good for you, that makes you feel like, you know, you can make those choices. You are strong enough to do that. And the stronger you make those pathways of making those different choices that you know are better for you, the more empowering it gets. Like, you can literally do anything. You've just got to start. You've just got to take those small steps. So, you know, the whole metaphor of you can't get over the mountain without taking steps, no matter how small they are. Now, some parts of a mountain you're obviously going to move faster on. Those steps might feel like leaps and bounds. And on the uphill, it might feel like you are crawling. When you are taking those small steps, don't feel like you're not getting anywhere. They are actually the most important ones. I'll repeat that again. When you're taking small steps, don't feel like you're not getting anywhere. They are actually the most important ones. I'm dead set. Because if you don't take those ones, guess which way you go? You either stay right there and never move, or you go backwards. Because chances are you're going to turn around and go, that looks easier. Down you go. All right. So what you need to remember is when you are making those really hard choices that seem so stupid and so little like that, like, do I grab the can of Coke at the servo? That is one of the most powerful things you can do in your day. Probably more powerful than going and doing your workout. Okay? So if you can do those little things, honestly, if you pick up that bottle of Coke and you put it back down, that's even harder because you've held it in your hand. Put it back down. That is the most powerful thing you do in your day. I'm not joking. You are literally rewiring a neural pathway. Now, I am not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist or anything like that, but honestly, that sort of stuff is literally life-changing. It will literally change the rest of your life. And guess what? It's going to change your children's lives too, because they are going to follow in your footsteps. They see you make changes. They see the changes that happens over the 5-10 years it takes on your journey to get to the healthier version of you. They are going to see that, and first of all, they're going to think that you're amazing for doing that. They're going to be like, wow, my mum or my dad can do anything. But also, they're going to think that they can do it too. All right. Now, changing food in a family home is really hard because it's not just yourself that you're cooking for. But making those hard decisions, they're hard for everyone. They're very hard to facilitate. For example, taking screen time away from your children. We all know how hard that is. We've all tried to do that. At the moment, we're on 3 weeks without TV. And we went through a phase where it was every day. And the first couple of weeks after it, when I was really cracking down on taking away, was so hard. And now it's the best, honestly. Like, they literally don't even ask for it. But you've got to push through those hard times and just say to yourself, like, that simple decision for me of like just putting the telly on. It's just such an easy decision to make, right? Like, such an easy decision. I could get so much work or cleaning or whatever done. if you choose not to do it, it seems so hard and like such a small thing at the time. It's kind of like, oh, whatever, I'll just flick it on. Like, who cares? Those small steps seriously make massive changes. Like right now, it seems like nothing for me to be doing no screen time because no one's asking for it. No one cares. But back then, it was like such a big deal. So when you look back and you go, oh my God, I'm so bloody glad for that week that I just made sure that I didn't cave. That's the powerful stuff. So you can apply that to anything. All right. So when you can consider all of this and take it into this whole package of the whole point of getting healthier and enjoying life and enjoying this body and the mind that you're in and the people you're around, is that when you're enjoying the process and you forget about that end destination, you're enjoying the process. First of all, I think that is that end destination that everyone's dreaming of. Like once you're happy to be where you are, it's like, oh, I'm there. That's cool. But when you are enjoying that journey and enjoying that process, that is when you have won. All right. That is when you have that feeling of standing up on the podium. It is like you'll have like an extremely fulfilling day. And it's like, what's going on? Oh my gosh. I'm just happy to be here, guys. Like, this is just sick. Like, oh yeah, I've got my goals and everything that I'm working towards, but that's not all I'm caught up on. Like, I actually don't care if I get there because I might get somewhere else. And I don't know what that looks like because I just keep finding new things to invest in myself. You know, you're enjoying that. It's like, that is the best version of you can be, is that version today. So once you've done that, you have won. If you are not doing that, if you are just focused on the finish line, you are literally, if you're always dreaming about tomorrow, or tomorrow I'll do this, or I'll wait till the perfect time to do that, or you are literally wasting your time on this earth because the only time you have is now, literally today. That's it. My husband works 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. If I was always waiting to enjoy time for when he gets back, I'd be waiting 50% of my time. If I wasn't enjoying the work that I do right now, enjoying doing this podcast and speaking to you guys, I'm literally wasting my time. If I'm not speaking about something that I love, not putting a message out across that I am passionate about, it is such a waste of time. You need to do these things in the moment and enjoy it then, not tomorrow. I'm not saying that when you get that lift or you get to the body composition goal that you've got, or, you get your run time, whatever it is that you've been working towards, oh my God, go crazy. Absolutely enjoy it. Love that high. Love that for you. But you need to enjoy the process of getting there. So the whole point of this journey, wherever you are at, is that there is always a small step that you can be taking to get there. Whether that is reading labels at the supermarket, whether that is getting into a routine of every second day you're doing a workout, whether you are investing more time into yourself for mental clarity, and solo time pretty much, just on your own out there. That might be your goal at the moment. Maybe you're working on improving your social circle. Now, I'll tell you this, if you're working on social health, once you work on your self-talk, that will inevitably improve. So all of these things are kind of interlinked as well. But my main message to you today is to question absolutely everything in your life, from your food to your exercise, to the people around you, to what you're breathing in the air, what products you're buying, what you're wearing, everything. Question everything, but not all at once, just bit by bit as it comes to you. And always continue to make better choices. If you can do that, you are already one step ahead of yourself. And yeah, enjoy that journey because that's all we've got. So to wrap up with that one today, I just want to leave, stop chasing the perfect body and start chasing sustainable health. Things that you can sustain for the rest of your life. So for instance, following that 95% rule. That means that you can have a beer at the end of the day if you really want one. That means that you can have a wine with your husband on Sunday night. That means that you can have a chocolate cake at somebody's birthday. Life is to be enjoyed, and it's all about figuring out that balance. So if you can stop chasing that perfect body and start chasing sustainable health, you're already winning. All right, that's it from me today. If you've got any requests for podcasts coming up, I would absolutely love to hear them. And I'll see you whenever it is next.